My name is Barbara Haesler. I'm a lecturer in agri-health at the Royal Vet College, and in IFSTAL I am the local PI for LCIRAH, which is the Leverhulme Centre for Integrative Research on Agriculture and Health. And LCIRAH brings together 3 London colleges, which is the Royal Vet College, London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, and SOAS, School of Oriental and African Studies. I have a strong interest in understanding how our livestock and fish food systems evolve over time, because in the last years we have seen a very strong increase in human population growth, a change in lifestyles, increased demand for animal source foods, and that has led to quite a high increase in demand for animal source products, which has had an effect on the livestock populations and our livestock production systems. We see an increasing intensification of these systems, and that creates quite a lot of new challenges for disease emergence, spread, and the control of diseases. So I am trying to understand how these food systems evolve over time, what that means for food safety aspects in these systems, and increasingly I'm looking into the links between food safety and food security aspects to finally come up with recommendations for disease control which benefits both food safety and food security and does not lead to a situation where we would increase one aspect and decrease the other one. In veterinary public health, we traditionally have used a whole value chain approach, going from farm to fork or stable to table, or in fish from boat to throat. And in this approach, we're looking at all the steps from production to some form of harvesting, distribution, retail, and finally consumption. To be able to understand what is going on in these chains, we need a lot of different disciplines. We need people to look at what is going on at the farm level in production, what does that mean for disease. We need to have microbiologists who can understand how disease or pathogens enter these chains and how they are being transmitted and spread. We need economists to understand the business environment in these value chains. We need people who have experience on policy to understand the regulatory framework. And we need to bring all that together to not only understand how disease spreads in these chains and how foodborne disease emerges, but also to contribute to food security and increasingly to environmental sustainability. Within that, because it's quite a complex global system, it is helpful to use a systems approach to be able to define what is the system that we are looking at, what are the boundaries of this system, what are the different institutions and players in this system, what are the regulatory frameworks, and then think about how we can bring all these different perspectives and disciplines together to work towards one shared goal. RVC has had a food systems research stream for quite a long time. It's called Safe and Sustainable Food, and it has put strategic emphasis on the food systems topic, which has been expressed in various resources that were provided. For example, RVC created my position, the lecturer in agri-health, to support food systems research. And we also have quite a lot of people working in different parts of the food system. For example, we do have epidemiologists working in food systems to try and understand disease emergence and spread in these systems. We have people working in animal welfare who are looking at how the changing food systems and production systems, what that means for animal welfare and how we can maintain high animal welfare standards. Then there are people who are interested more on the regulatory side, and they will be looking at regulatory frameworks, supporting veterinary services, and so on. So basically we have a whole team of researchers at the RVC working in different parts of the food system, and they provide input into livestock and fish value chains overall. And this research links directly to what we're trying to achieve in IFSTAL. And we can bring our research ideas and inputs into IFSTAL and try to connect people from different disciplines. RVC students, they have a lot to offer to IFSTAL because they're very often coming from some form of animal health background. Very often they come from veterinary medicine and related sciences. And so they do not only have knowledge on traditional animal care, as you would expect from a veterinarian, but they also have knowledge on different points in the livestock value chains. For example, official veterinarians working in slaughterhouses or in different institutions responsible for animal disease control or animal disease surveillance. We also have several people who have good knowledge on wildlife, conservation aspects, and related topics. So they definitely make an important contribution already to food safety and food security, to public health, increasingly environmental health aspects as well. And so I think they can make a really important contribution to the overall food systems discussion that we are having in IFSTAL. At the same time, they can benefit from participating in IFSTAL by learning more about what other sciences and fields are doing. They can learn more about, for example, policy development, environmental health, and so on, and have very, very close face-to-face exchange with colleagues who may also have an interest in food systems and bring in a different angle and perspective.